Welcome to the channel. My name is Chance, and I'll be giving y'all some free football picks. I'm going to be talking mostly about Ole Miss, but I'm going to be giving away any college football picks that I think are profitable or we can make money off of. A little bit about myself. I've been doing handicapping for about 10 years now, and I've had my ups and downs, but like any handicapper, anybody that gives out picks, they have hot streaks and they also have they have losing streaks. I try to find good angles, good spots to put the money. It's real hard to make money in sports betting. It's you got to be real disciplined in it. You got to pick your spots. Uh, you I really enjoy finding things maybe other people don't see and taking advantage of that. I mean, that to me, that's one of the best feelings in sports gambling is when you pick a side nobody else does, and they win the game or you win your bet. I mean, that's why a lot of people do it is to for those rare moments when that works out. But anyways, so I'll do a couple of picks I've been looking at for Thursday. I guess this will be considered week one. I think the Florida State and Georgia Tech, that was week zero, I think is what they're calling it. Um, but on that one, I was on Georgia Tech side. I wish I could have released that pick, but I didn't have my setup ready. I took the Georgia Tech plus the 10.5. I knew that game was going to be a lot closer than what they were predicting it to be. Everybody said Florida State was going to blow them out. It was. I mean, they went all the way to Ireland. It was raining. I just. It was a season opener, and giving that anybody that many points, and plus Florida State lost their stud quarterback. They lost a lot of pieces to their operation, and I didn't feel comfortable laying the 10.5. If I would have lost that one, I would just ate it. But I couldn't make myself take Florida State the minus the 10.5. So I took Georgia Tech. That got me a win there. I did take me a. I did lose a game a little bit later in the game, but that was. I kind of did it on a whim. I didn't really study it much. But anyways, looking into Thursday, I was looking at a couple games. By the way, I'm hoping I can share my screen with y'all eventually. But right now, I'm looking at Scores and Odds. So the website's free. You can kind of see what the spreads are, and where the money's at, line movement, and I mean basic handicapper stuff that you might want to look at if you're, trying to make a play. But let me find it. I know I was looking at the Arkansas game. Where's it? Right here. Okay, Arkansas. Let me look real quick. Because some of the times are off on this, and where they play. So they're playing Arkansas Pine Bluff. They're playing Thursday at 6:30 p.m. So the spread is 49.5. That's a huge spread. And Arkansas, they lost their quarterback. I'm not going to say I know everything about Arkansas because I don't. And any handicapper, I mean, that tells you they know everything about any given team's probably going to, they're lying to you. But Arkansas, I know they lost their quarterback. But I don't know, like Sam Pittman, I don't think you can keep him down forever. Like, I think he will find a way to win. If they give him enough time and they got the money, you got Walmart and Tyson Foods that's from Arkansas, and they're donating all that money to him so they can buy the players and the talent. And you got, all the money coming in Arkansas. Was it Palm Arkansas Pine Bluff. I'm not even. To be honest, I've never even really studied them or heard of them but I know you're probably thinking, why taking Arkansas minus the 49.5? But I would take a shot at taking that Arkansas minus 49.5. Like I said, Sam Pittman's not going to stay down forever. They got the money to back them. I know he recruited some talent in some key positions. They got a new quarterback. I mean, if I was going to take a shot on a Thursday night game, hey, why not? I would take Arkansas minus the 49.5. That's coming up Thursday night. It says on here it's gonna be at 4:30, but it says 6:30 here. So I think they're probably still having problems getting the schedule. It is week 1, so usually this site's pretty accurate for the most part. Then you got Colorado and North Dakota. Is it state? North Dakota State? Yeah, that's it. Colorado is minus. It's minus 9.5 right now. Some places at minus 10. So Colorado, they're expecting big things out of that program. They put a lot of money into prime time and that whole organization. I've never really bought in on it. I'm one of them people until you prove me wrong. I mean, I can't really remember their record last year, but I know it wasn't that great. But North Dakota State, they've always been one of them teams that bust spreads, win when they're not supposed to. Really been that like rocking the shoe type of team. If I was this is another spot where everybody's on Colorado, and the only reason they're on Colorado is because they're all over the news and prime time. I guess you can make a statement for them. They should be better than they were last year, but I don't know if they're going to be 10 points better good. And everybody's going to be aiming to beat Colorado just because they're all over the news and all over everywhere you watch. So if I was going to go away, I would take the North Dakota plus the. If you can get it plus 10, I don't think plus 10, plus 9.5. I don't think if you're going to lose at 9.5, you're probably going to lose at 10. That half a point. But yeah, I'll take that North Dakota State plus the 10. I might be completely wrong. Colorado might be a more put together team this year. They might come out and smoke them, but until you prove me wrong, I'm going with North Dakota State in the points. And you just have to bust me is all I got to say. But hey, pay me if it hits. But so then we're going into Saturday. So, like I said, I'm new to this. It's kind of awkward talking to the camera. I release pics to friends and a few people I communicate with. It's just a little bit awkward talking to a phone and trying to communicate what I'm looking at. But also rolling into Saturday, you got Clemson and Georgia. So I don't know who did this schedule, but oh man, number 14 against number 1. I would hate to be Clemson right now. But so I know Clemson refuses to do the NIL and the transfer portal. They want it to be like it was. But you gotta evolve and go with current system if you wanna win at this level. And Georgia's doing a real good job at it. They are constantly recruiting and developing and paying what they gotta pay to get their players there. It is what it is. But so this is one of them games where I think it's in the morning too. Let me see. It might be at night. Let me see. I want to, because some of these times are off on there. Yeah, it's in the morning Saturday, and is it? It's at Georgia. Oh, that's gonna be a tough one. So it's at Georgia. Clemson's got to travel to Georgia at 11 a.m. opening day, and hope for an upset. I mean, that's hoping for a lot. But hold just a second. I'm looking at some things before I've already have what I want to do in that game. I just want to look at. Okay, so yeah. So you got 39% of the public is on Clemson, but 21% of the money is on Clemson. So you got 61% of the public's on Georgia, and then 79% of the money's on Georgia. And that just shows you, like, the sharps and the public are both coming in strong on Georgia. They give Clemson. I mean, nobody's giving Clemson any hope. But if anything, their coach is not a bad coach. Like, I know he had a few really good years where, I mean, he seemed unstoppable. But ever since the NIL and the transfer portal, it seems like their whole program's taking a huge step back. But still, I don't know if you're gonna it's an early morning game, the opener. Like I said, openers, you don't really know what anybody's really gonna do. I know Georgia lost their tight end. I think he went in the draft, and he was a big part of that offense. But I know Georgia has a next man up mentality, and they got 5 and 4 stars at every corner of that whole system, and they got the money to put into that program. So I have no doubt that they will be good, and we'll be talking about them at the end of the season. But I don't know, like the season opener, and you're getting 14 points with Clemson with a coach that just ain't gonna roll over and let you. He's gonna make you earn it. Is what I'm trying to say. And I know a lot of people's on that minus 14, 13 and a half. Let's see where this line opened at. So it opened at 13 and a half, and it's pretty much stayed there the whole time. In some places you can get it at 14, but for the most part it's 14 and a half. I mean 13 and a half. In some places you can get it at 14. It looks like at I don't know. I've never seen that symbol. Bet 365 maybe. But anyways, bet now is what it is. Okay, you can get it at 14. But if I was I am gonna place this bet. I will be wagering on this, and I'm taking Clemson at 14 points. And yeah, I'm sure there's people out there thinking I'm crazy. If anybody's even watching this, I don't even know. But I don't know. It's the season opener. Georgia came off of a decent year last year. They lost some of their offense, and I don't know. It's just one of them games where you got to prove me that Clemson's nothing. Like, I feel like they can hold 14 points. Like, you ain't gonna come in there and roll them over. Like, I feel like they got some fight in them, and they're gonna be competitive. But I mean, until you prove me wrong again, you should have to beat me, I guess, as far as sports betting. You're betting the other way, so I'll take my 14 points and roll the dice, but that's the way I feel. I'm taking Clemson and the 14 points. You can follow or fade me, whatever you feel like doing. It's your money, but if you're here to follow me, I'm taking the Clemson and the 14 points. That was I know Georgia Tech's got a game. So anyway, let me go on to Ole Miss. Oh, see, I've been an Ole Miss fan my whole life. I live not far from the campus. We go there a lot. We go just hang out on campus a lot, walk around in the Grove. We go eat there a lot. I love everything about Ole Miss. I've suffered through the good and the bad with them. It looks like we're finally in the good parts. We got Lane Kiffin. I just watched the interview today. He brought in his brother Chris Kiffin, I think's his name. I was watching the press conference on my break at work, and I think it's something about his dad wanting them to work together, and they finally made it work through Ole Miss, and I'm glad they get the opportunity. And I think he worked for the Browns in the NFL, so I think he was a defensive line coach. And with the weapons we got at defensive line, and then you get an NFL caliber coach to come in there and complement that. Oh man, I see nothing but good things in Ole Miss's future. The first 4 games, I think is pretty light. They should be able to get out of them without too much damage. But their opener is against Furman. It's at 6:30. Me and my family will be there. The kickoff's at 6:30. I think the Walk of Champions at 4. We always go to it. We always try to be part of that. Right here. Let me see if they've released anything. So it opened at 42.5 and it stayed. It don't look like there's a whole lot of money coming in on it yet. A lot of people wait to I know a lot of the sharps wait till right before kickoff to place their bets. But Ole Miss opens up as a 42.5 point favorite against Furman. And I know Furman's quarterback, he went down to Jackson State, I believe, and their whole defensive back has left, either transferred or moved on. And then Ole Miss, God, everybody knows what they're all over their news. They're number 6 in the nation. They've got a very good defensive front. I mean, they got Walter Nolan. Good God. Imagine getting hit by him for 60 minutes. You just got all these Piggies. You got all these people that came in just to complement the returning people. I think a third, maybe 2/3 of last year's team came back, and then Kiffin went out and got pieces to complement them. I mean, you got a third-year quarterback coming back. And not only that, you got the best play caller, Lane Kiffin, in the ear of Jackson Dart this year. If you can't tell me that's not going to be dangerous, you're crazy. That's dangerous. And I know Ole Miss has got Georgia circled after that horrible display last year. So I would definitely be looking forward to Georgia game because I think Ole Miss has that one circled. But anyway, getting back to Furman, like I said, Furman they lost their quarterback, which was the main production for their last year team. They've always been like that, greedy, like a hard hitting greedy team. But I just don't think they're going to be able to stand up to Ole Miss's depth. I think this is from one of them name your scores type of games. I mean, you can either get two ways. You can look at it two ways here. You know, all these investors have put a lot of money into Lane Kiffin's program, and they're going to be at this game watching what he does and watching what all their money's doing. So you're either going to see Lane Kiffin come out there, just blow them out and add points and keep adding points, or you're going to get the more conservative, don't want to get nobody hurt, pull everybody, run the clock out. And also, I don't know if a lot of people have been looking at this. This is the first year with the new clock rules. Like, I think the clock don't stop it near as much as it did in the past. So I've also been looking at a lot of these unders if somebody's looking for an edge on that until these systems get adjusted to these new clock rules. But I'm looking at this, and I just don't see Furman being able to stack up to the depth, to the talent, in the key positions. And I could see this getting out of hand early for Furman, and I just don't see them being able to, stick with them. Even if we pull out our first string, we still got talent in the next level. So I don't know. I'm taking Ole Miss minus the 42 points, and yeah, I could see a backdoor cover for sure, but I don't know. I think this gets out of hand real quick, and Kiffin keeps stacking on the points because we got to travel to LSU and we got Oklahoma. So let's say we drop them and then we're rolling into Georgia. That's a toss-up game. Or Georgia's coming in Oxford. But anyways, if we got 2 losses and then we got Georgia and then we have a possibility of losing them, we lose 3. It's gonna be really hard to get in the college playoffs, even with the 12-team expanded playoffs. And if we don't got big numbers on these little no-name, or on these, I'm not going to say no-name, I'm sorry, for these littler teams like Furman in these first 4 games, if you ain't got big blowout wins on them, you don't have much of an argument to get in the playoffs. So I think Lane Kiffin's going to come out and make the statement at the beginning and let it roll into the rest of the season. And that's what I think's going to happen. So I'm going to take Ole Miss minus the 42.5 points and roll with it and lock it in. And another one. So another team I've been kind of looking at is Auburn. So, they got our old coach, Hugh Freeze, and I've always, I hate to say Ole Miss people are going to kill me for saying this, but Hugh Freeze, I've always actually liked him. I know he got caught up in some stuff, and if it was now, I don't think it would have been as big of a deal. But then, the time it was, the timing was horrible. But he's always, look what he did at Liberty. I mean, you would never have thought Liberty would have been at this place they are. And, I mean, he just turned that program completely around. And I believe that he'll do it with Auburn if they give him enough time. But I've never understood. I can't get behind Thorne. He's just not my type of quarterback, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I don't know. I feel like Hugh Freeze brought him back this year, and maybe he's gonna have a bunch of improvement that I haven't really looked into it. I've been kind of catching some of their fall camp and some of their press interviews, and I mean, kind of keep an eye on him just to see what he does. But I really hope for the best for Hugh Freeze, and I hope this year's a little bit I hope it's a lot better than last year, to be honest. I know that game against Alabama, man, I was hoping they was going to beat them. Ooh, that last pass, it had me sick. But I'm just going to recap. So what I'm going to pick and where I'm going. And I'm hoping to get a sweep, my first ever YouTube video. So I'm doing, let me scroll back through them. I should have wrote them down. So, North Dakota State versus Colorado. I'm taking North Dakota State plus the 9. You can get it at 10 some places. If we don't get it done at 9, I doubt we're going to get it done at 10. It's going to be, but I hope we don't. We hope we don't need any of them points. I'm not a big Colorado fan. I do like prime time, but I don't know. I don't know. I just can't get when everybody just floods in there and starts. Oh, they're gonna be great. I mean, until you prove me wrong. But anyway, North Dakota State plus the 10 is gonna be my first pick. What was it? Oh, the Arkansas minus 49.5. I know that's a lot of points. I would tread lightly on this one. This is a Thursday game. I would take Arkansas minus the 49.5. Also, a little side note. Oh yeah, Ole Miss. I would take Ole Miss minus the 42.5. And the Clemson plus the 13.5, 14, wherever you can find it. Also, a little side note, I don't. You might want to dabble on this. I was looking at earlier today. Georgia Tech. Like I told you at the beginning of I told you at the beginning of the game, I took them against Florida State. I knew that game was gonna be closer than it was. So Saturday they're playing again. At 7 p.m. Let me see what the spread is again. I think it was like 21. I think Georgia State is at. I think they run that triple option, sort of like the academy schools do, like Army, Navy, stuff like that. I can't find them. Let me see what time that is again. It says 7 p.m. I'm too early. Okay. Let me see. Give me 1 minute. I'm sure if you made it this far with me, you don't mind a few more minutes. I'm hoping to get better at this as time goes on, and I'm hoping I can learn how to show y'all what I'm looking at. I want to do screen share so y'all can kind of go through and look at what I'm looking at, and maybe in the comments y'all can we can have some discussions about it. Where are they? It might be. I know I saw them right here. Georgia State, Georgia Tech. It's 21.5 is the spread. They're giving Georgia State 21.5. They are hammering Georgia Tech minus the 21.5. I wish I could show you this, but you can go to scoresandodds.com and look at it yourself. Sharps are hammering Georgia Tech. 93% of the money's on Georgia Tech right now. I mean, they knocked off Florida State, but you also got to think about where they're playing. They were playing in Ireland, and it was a wet, messy game, and Georgia Tech was able to run the ball and step up on defense. So this is one of these places where I like to, everybody's, hopping on Georgia Tech. Well, they beat Florida State. Maybe they did, but it was an Ireland game. It was not the best circumstances to really get a judge of Florida State. They shouldn't have lost, but they were playing so far away. You can say jet lag and the rain, and you can give 1,000 excuses. But I might get on Georgia State here. This is a little side note. I mean, you got to. I'm not telling you to pick any of my plays. You can fade every one of them. You won't hurt my feelings. But I'm just giving y'all some plays that you might want to follow along with me on. But Georgia State plus the 21.5. That's a lot of points. That's 3 touchdowns. So if I decide to get on that one, I'm going to take Georgia State plus the 21.5. And Georgia Tech might come out there and wipe them out and show everybody who they really are. But I think Georgia State might just surprise a few people, and they might just hang in there. I don't know. We'll see. But that's a little side note. Just pin that up in the side, Georgia Tech, Georgia State. You might want to get a little creative. Throw a little, hey, I got $50. Throw it on it. Whatever the case may be. But my official plays that I'm releasing to y'all: Ole Miss minus 42.5. North Dakota State, I think that's what versus. I'm having to find all this again. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, I hope I get better at this. Oh, okay. Ole Miss minus the 42.5. Clemson plus the 13.5. 14, 13.5, wherever you can get it at, wherever you bet. And then where is it? North Dakota State versus Colorado. I'm taking North Dakota State plus the 9.5. And what was the other one? Oh, the Arkansas and uh, Arkansas Pine Bluff. I'm not really sure. I'm taking Arkansas minus the 49.5. Those are my official plays. Now, I will be locking in also. So if I lose, I'll be losing. Like, I ain't going to just give it to y'all and not play them. Now, these are the real plays that I'm really playing. Like, a lot of these handicappers out there will send you these plays and be like, well, send them to you. Then they bust and they're like, well, if you buy my top secret, ultra secret, top secret plays, then you'll win. Then you pay them another $50 and they send you another play. They're like, well, you got to buy my super secret, top secret, super secret plays. And it's just an endless tunnel of BS. And my goal here is to bust the bookies. I want all of us to cash against the bookies. And if let's say I do hit a few of these, or if I sweep, hey, show me a little love, give me a like and a little share. Tell somebody about me. I don't know. Do whatever you feel in your heart, man. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, so Ole Miss minus the 42.5. Hey, you can fade me. Maybe it'll go the wrong way because I'm an Ole Miss fan. I look at it one way. Hey, you might fade me in Furman covers. I don't. That's up to you. But I'm gonna tell you what I'm taking. Ole Miss minus the 42.5. North Dakota State plus the 10. Arkansas minus the 49.5. And what was the other one? Georgia State was a side note.
Sorry.
Plus 21. And Clemson plus the 13.5. Those are my official plays. And good luck. I hope we all win money. Whether you follow me or fade me. You can tell me in the comments and tell me how. Oh, and if you're watching this, tell me some of the stuff y'all are taking. Maybe something I didn't see. Some teams y'all are interested in this year. Just kind of give me a little feedback. I love talking. I love talking to people. If y'all sports bet, tell me what y'all do. What's some of the things y'all look for? I'm always open to suggestions, and everybody's different. And I hope I can continue to do this. I'm gonna try. And also, I'm after football season, I'm wanting to get into college basketball and also college baseball. We went to a lot of Ole Miss Pavilion games. We also went to the baseball games, which this season was hard to watch. Good God, I don't even want to get into that. But anyways, so that was my official plays, and let's lock them in, see what happens, and God bless, and I'll see y'all on the next one, and thank y'all for watching.